In light of my recent love affair with the tactical shooter Insurgency, I thought I'd drift over to Bad Company 2 again today just to play something a little bit different. And I'm not really sure what fully made me decide to go and do this, but it was a good choice by all accounts. Not many of you really know this. In fact, I don't really talk to many people about where I get my ideas from for videos, but most of the time they come from sort of static imagery of games. And I'm not talking like the art that developers make and put out for DLCs and things like that, but more from what other people capture in-game and manage to create on their own. Guys like Burdu and Shadow 6, or War Photographers as I've dubbed them, because they just create some absolutely insane shots from the games that I really love to play. And looking at them and working them into, I don't know, thumbnails or concept designs can give me a massive boost in creativity, and it can drive me to make something. So for example, the 3 images at the top of the screen, they're just concepts. I've got nothing behind them yet, but they gave me ideas of what I can create with a video game, because ultimately what I do with YouTube is that I like to make videos and express my own opinion. I don't just do it just to play games and then broadcast it on the internet. The point is for me to get my opinion across to someone else, and looking at these images and then creating them into something else and creating a whole video out of it, that's how I get my ideas for these videos. And I think I've done that again today with Bad Company 2 and Insurgency, and because of an amazing image, that's what I'm going to talk about. But I just thought I'd let you know where I get the ideas from, because I know they can be a little bit different from time to time, but I think they're really cool anyway. So as I mentioned, I'm playing a lot more Insurgency at the moment, and it's breathed a bit of fresh air into my FPS experience. Not that it was getting stale all that much, but it's always nice to play something different. So going back to Bad Company 2, I didn't really have that same enthusiasm because it's from the same franchise that Battlefield 4's from, that I play all the time, but that changed really quickly. You can draw a lot of similarities between Bad Company 2 and Insurgency, and maybe these similarities weren't intentional. I'm pretty sure they're not, but it made me realise how all FPS games overlap in some capacity at some point down the road. First thing I noticed was the movement. Insurgency opts for like a slower movement speed the more equipment that you carry. Things like adding body armor slows down your movement speed, or sticking a red dot sight on there will slow down your ADS speed. And while that mechanic may not directly transfer to Bad Company 2, the movement of your soldier is a hell of a lot more clunky in that game than your most recent titles like Hardline or Battlefield 4. Soldier movement is like slow, really deliberate, and it can be like really tense at times as well. Almost like each footstep is fully incorporated into the movement of the soldier on the screen. The sway of the sniper rifle as you run is more fluid and obtrusive, much like it is in Insurgency. And when movement is represented like that in a game, it almost feels like every movement forwards is a lot more meaningful, which of course in a game like Insurgency, it actually is. The closer that you can get to an objective with your team, the better chance you have of surviving and taking over that objective. In Bad Company 2, it's nowhere near as hardcore as it is in Insurgency, and you respawn a lot quicker. But the movement overall feels like you've got a lot more purpose on the battlefield than you do in Battlefield 3 or 4, where you feel like a super soldier because you're just moving so quickly and so seamlessly without really getting any penalty for that. Another thing that I thought was similar in these two titles was the sound. Now before I go ahead, I have installed recently these sort of realistic sound things into Insurgency. You can get them on the Steam Workshop, and it makes the game sound absolutely incredible, but the audio system is really good at representing sounds around you, just like it is in Bad Company. The Frostbite engine is absolutely fantastic for audio representation, and the DICE developers might tell you now that the rendering engine in Battlefield 4 is superior, and it probably is, but it doesn't give me the same feeling as Bad Company 2. The loss of hearing when a tank shell lands like 10 feet away, and then the whining sound that you get as the sound returns, and the bullet cracking past you, sniper bullets whistling through the middle of the battle, they can be picked out clear as day. And it's kind of the same with Insurgency. If someone is sniping at you, the sound you hear in your headphones instantly tells you that that's a sniper bullet. That kind of instant feedback fits really, really well with me. Newer titles like Battlefield 4 overall have a better incorporated soundstage maybe, but the individuality of different pieces to me doesn't stand out as much. It's nowhere near as immersive as it was in Bad Company 2, and for that matter Insurgency right now. Going back to my example, if somebody fires a sniper bullet at you in those two games, you knew it was a sniper bullet. And that immersion leads me into my final point, really. There's just something about Bad Company 2, maybe it's the setting more than anything, that makes the fighting more believable in my eyes. The same goes for Insurgency. I'm placed into combat zones that fit the style of game that I'm playing. For example, Market or Station in Insurgency, two awesome maps for the push game mode, which is essentially Rush by the way, fit right into the narrative of the game. Insurgents have taken over an objective, go and get it back. Bad Company 2 does this well as well, with maps like this one, Oasis, where it's clear what the objective is, and the location is one you'd expect to be fighting in. Battlefield 4 gives us Shanghai waterfront. What's the significance of that? What's the backstory? Is it instantly apparent why we're fighting on rooftops in China? No. It's not for me at least, and that kind of breaks the immersion a little bit. So, that's my recent experience that I thought I'd share. Might sound like rambling to you, but it made a lot of sense in my head, so I hope you enjoyed it. You have to let me know if you agree or what you really think in the comments. I'd be really interested to see your answers. I am working on another Insurgency video right now, which should be out soon, and a really cool new Battlefield 4 series, which I'll keep secret for now. All shall be revealed soon. But thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a thumbs up if you did. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.